All right. A few seconds early to stave off the delay. It is 9, just about 9 p.m. What up, what up, what up? Hopefully everybody's doing well. I want to thank you guys so very much, as always, for coming and hanging out on the live stream. I can't say thank you enough. Now it's 9 o'clock. What up? How's everybody doing? Who do we have on the live stream? Let's see. Right. Copy. Boom. Yep. I'm yawning. There's no getting around that one. I have been up for a long time today. Let's see, make sure that the live stream is working just fine. What up, Russ? How you doing? Jimmy, how you doing this evening? Switch to the other account. Hit that thumbs up button. I had to claim the number one spot for a moment. I know I won't be on the number one spot for long, but had to do it to you real quick. Russ is here. Jimmy is here. Off the grill is here. Oh man, you know who's not here? Quentin. Quentin's not here. He's late. He's late. Oh man. Oh goodness. That was a good stretch. Jimmy said, "Are we it?" Hopefully not, but it's one of those things where I'm sure more folks will come in here. It is time for energy drink. I think I might have to. I have my cooler is right here, and I still have drinks in it from that L we took last Friday. I'm reaching here. Oh man! What's funny is I told myself earlier. I said, "Oh, you need to put the energy drinks and some of these energy drinks in the refrigerator." Totally forgot. Totally forgot. Holidays do definitely mess with people's schedules, mine included. Definitely. But I have these drinks here, and they were in the cooler. And I looked at the cooler and I said, I need to take a couple of those drinks out of there and put them into the refrigerator. And I was like, nah. I was like, nah. I'm not gonna do it. I was like, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna be able to do it. So I didn't. And oh man. Also, I just filmed 6 Ask Dash videos and had a beer for each of the 6 Ask Dash videos. So yeah, there's that. So I put 6 more beers in the refrigerator but we're not there yet. Jimmy said it only works with clear. How many ounces of white lightning on tap tonight? None. I just drank 6 12-ounce beers a few minutes ago. I actually, the beers, I finished the beer. It was like 7:30, quarter to 8. But I drank 6 of them while I was out there in the cold filming the videos. So hopefully you guys appreciate, say the sacrifice, what I do. All right, so let's see who's here. We got Jimmy's here. Scrog, what up, man? How you doing this evening? Roger Dodger, he's in the building. What's up, Roger? He said, how many ounces of white lightning on tap tonight? No, none. Jamie's here. She says, hey, yo, it's me and T-Bone checking in from our spot. How did that whole discussion pan out, Jamie? And where's my homie? I was walking the line. I was definitely walking the line. And I'm gonna be yawning away. Bubba Tribe, what up, man? Bubba Tribe, I answered a question from you. Definitely do appreciate you taking the time to ask me a question. George, what up? He says, what's good? What's up, good peeps? Oh, wow, read this. I always forget. What's up, good peeps? Hope everyone is nice and toasty. Look, it's so funny. The heater is right next to me. Like, so this is my hand. The heater is literally right there. And when I came inside from the outside, I debated I debated turning the heat up in the whole house just because I was chilly. All right, so Trumpet Master says, what's going on in here? So when a mommy and a daddy love each other. Nah, man, this is the normal live stream. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk some talk. We're gonna, drink some drink. And we're gonna, it is what it is. We just gonna have a good old time. Bubba Tribe, hey man, how you doing? Jimmy says, Dash, you have consumed beer to sober up. Pretty much. Yeah, Bubba said, I saw that short this morning. I was able to re-edit the video, and it wasn't even re-editing. For whatever reason, the render got stuck on render the timeline, or it got stuck on rendering the in and out point. So it just so happened that I must have clicked on that particular portion of the video, and that was what it rendered. And I'm not even gonna tell you how many times I did it again with that same little bit before I realized that it was only rendering that small little clip. Yeah, but I did remedy the situation and was able to have the entirety of the video being uploaded. Sean, what up? What up with you, man? Jamie says she's still in trouble for throwing away petrified spices, but somewhat redeemed myself with the beef shanks and collards I did in the pressure cooker. Listen, I mean, a good meal gonna make you forget until he goes to use the seasoning on the food that you cook, and then you right back in the doghouse. TJ, what up? What up? He says, good evening, all. Sorry I'm late. No need to apologize, except for if you throw away seasonings that need not be thrown away. Marcus says, aloha, everyone. What up, Marcus? Marcus, go ahead. Talk your talk. Tell us what happened, Marcus. Tell us. Steven, he says, hey, yo, Dash and family, good evening. Steven, I definitely want to tell you I appreciate you hanging out and being here. What you, sir, can go to bed. Can go to bed because I already know where it's 9 o'clock for me. It's 10 o'clock for him. And Dave, the blind man, up in Prince Edward Island, he's already another hour ahead of me. And I think right now they might be 2 hours ahead of me. So I don't expect to see him honestly for a while. Ignored the bear down. I missed it. See, that's how insignificant it was. Was it a text message or was it yeah, Sean, I totally missed it. Insignificant. Insignificant. And how you live in Texas and are a Bears fan, it just let's say it befuddles my mind. B, oh, well, there he is. B, what up? My bad. I clicked twice.
How's it going?
Yeah, I'm all right. How you doing?
Just had a beautiful day in paradise. I don't
Mm,
know whose paradise it is, but it's a beautiful one,
somebody's paradise, right?
right?
George said he'd rather have leftovers thrown away than his spices. Mmm. Mmm. So, rumor has it there were some perfectly good petrified spices that were thrown away in they were thrown away. Let's just say that the petrified spices were thrown away, and the debate is whether they should have been thrown away or not.
Petrified.
Petrified, claiming petrified. I won't say loosely claimed. I wasn't witness. I wasn't party. I was just brought in as a not as a character witness, but as a consultant to determine whether or not seasonings can go bad.
No, I don't know if they can. Well, I assume they could go bad if they sat for years and years on end, uncovered.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But within several years, I don't think it's really possible.
All right. So at this point, we're moving on. Only because I was reminded that there was no shade thrown, so we are going to we're gonna move on. All right. So I I did not know, Sean. I did not know. Sean said he's from Illinois, or Illinois. All right. Sorry, the S just threw me off. He's from Illinois. And I've been drinking. You don't choose to be a Bears fan. You're born into that curse. As an Eagles fan, I completely empathize and agree. Okay, because we've had a run in the last couple years, but the entirety of my life, I'm gonna say I know better, but I understand. Jamie says, "Let the record show I talk zero Bear smack," which is exactly why we are moving on about the seasoning. Okay. Roger said, "I can only imagine the messages with Susie after the game." Susie, it wasn't as bad. It wasn't that bad. Susie talked her talk, and that was pretty much it. I was expecting it, but I told her just like I told everyone else, um, that the Eagles usually split with Dallas, and we split with y'all. We split with Dallas just as I predicted in the beginning of the season. So it was not a surprise that we split with you. It was just disappointment in how we lost a game when we were up 21 to nothing. That was more the it was more the disappointment um because of how they lost. All right, last thing. Jamie says, "Listen, when the seasoning blend is a solid tube, it's time to let it go, or it's
Yeah.
time to go."
Break up the sides, shake it up really good. You're good to go.
don't ever do that again, Ryan. Don't nope, 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 nope. I might have to clip that moment. Like we because no, 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 B, don't do
It's
that.
usually the
No.
salt that dissipate. All right. I'll let it go. I'll let it go.
No, 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 no. Oh my gosh, how do I bookmark this? How do I clip this? Cause this oh, we about to have some fun with this one. Oh boy. Oh, clip. There it is. Clip, clip, clip. How do I do it? Oh no, I'm trying to find out how to do it. Oh, damn it. I'm not in the right place. Oh well. Oh wait,
I
I can
bought
move
the
this.
what's that?
I can so I'm trying to clip the portion where you were like da 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 and then you did another hand motion. Oh, oh,
I
oh,
bought
I think I got it. Oh yeah, I got it. I got it. Oh
bought the
yeah.
huge Sampler pack from Uncle Steve's.
Oh yeah.
You know, well, what, 100 and something dollars or something like that. The
Oh
big one.
wow.
I wanted.
Uh-huh.
Well, I had never tried his stuff, and it was actually one of the first lives that I was watching here before I
Okay,
started
okay.
coming on. He was on
Yeah.
here and he was talking about. I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. So I bought like the whole thing. Right? It was one of
Uh-huh.
everything, and yeah, it just sits. I just started popping them out probably about maybe a week ago. Started farting around with it, but
Mm-hmm.
there's just a lot of spices, and if
Yeah.
spices
Oh,
go bad, that's going to be a lot of money gone down the drain.
oh yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah. Definitely understand. I hmm, I agree. And that's one of the reasons why I have not hit up Uncle Steve and ordered more because I want to go through the seasonings I already have. The problem is I am now out of my favorite seasonings. Um, and I'm
which
like,
one is your favorite?
so I really like the thick meat and the smoke bomb. Those are my two. Like the combination of those two. Today actually, I made a steak this morning for breakfast. I was like, all right, you know what? I am treating myself to a steak, and I took it out of the freezer before I took taste tester number three to school, and thawed it out. By the time I got home, I seasoned it with the Lucky Shake and with smoke bomb, and I used that little propane restaurant
Yeah,
steak cooker. Man, I think that steak cooked for 2 minutes on one side, another 2 minutes on the other side, and then I dropped it down in the cooker, and I cooked it for another like 2 minutes. And when I say the steak was fantastic, it was like, gosh, that's crazy. Um, that's what the grinders are for.
that's what
Oh
grinders
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
for.
The grinders are for the for the on the seasoning, so you can break up the clumps. Yeah. Scrog said, I have a large container of garlic powder that's practically a brick right now. I do too. I could go get it, and it is definitely a brick. One of them 10-pound tubs, Scrog. Sean says the humidity in Texas kills my rubs. They're always getting stuck together. Um,
Yeah,
Humidity here too in Baltimore. Saltine cracker is your friend. I guess you stick the cracker in with the seasoning. That's a pretty decent idea, actually. Mm. Susie says, "Y'all, y'all can eat dusty spices then." Yeah. Look, TJ says Brian changing the subject. Less brown sugar, less clumping. I need to give the seasoning a second try because I started with Gator Shake and I wasn't impressed. I don't know, man. You have to like lemon pepper and citrus. Um,
the
I
only complaint I have, the only one, is the pepper flakes are not big enough. for my liking.
Mm.
You know,
That's a.
I'm used. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's an odd thing to say that you don't like, but you probably have to keep in mind that you're getting a like. Are you using like a grinder, a coarse grinder to grind your stuff yourself?
No, the spices that I normally buy, my normal setup that I like, just typically has larger pepper pieces in it than
Hmm.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, even some of the meat church stuff is real. You know, it's a little too fine of pepper, but it probably just a personal thing.
Yeah.
But the flavoring of it, I'm pretty impressed with it. Pretty impressed with his spices, but
Hmm.
I like them. Um, I've tried probably about, I don't know, maybe six of them so far, and I think I've got a pack of what, 24 or something like that. Or
Wow.
yeah, it was one
Okay.
of everything he had. Um, so the thick meat spice,
Mm.
that one's really good.
Yep.
I did that on what did I did some ribeyes with that, and that was really good.
Hmm. So
I've tried the gator steak.
one thing I will say is that I think Uncle Steve has the salt level like here because you know to kind of appease everyone. I just add a little bit more salt on the things that I cook, and that's just because I like a little bit more salt. But you know, not for nothing, that is the only change I think I want to say I've had to make, but I do because of my own personal preference. Like even today, I did not add salt because I used the Lucky Shake and the smoke bomb, and I said, all right, I'm gonna try it before I add some salt to it to see if it needs a little extra, and it just a twang. Excuse me. It needed just a teeny little bit. I do apologize. I'm gonna be yawning like crazy. It's been a long day. I am, and I've already filmed. I filmed 6 Ask Dash episodes, and each of the episodes I drank a beer. So I, you know, Bumpy. I I ended the not the live stream. I ended the questions for this evening on Bumpy's question. So Bumpy asked a good question. He asked a question about um uh, how many times did I want to quit barbecue? And bruh, I I
Every Thanksgiving.
listen. Oh, B, you are hitting the nail on the head, dog. It's so funny you say
Yeah,
that because dude, that's but you're gonna have to wait. I won't say unfortunately, the video for Bumpy does not. I think it's slated for ninth, the ninth. So you got 6 days to wait. Um, and oh my gosh, but I say this Bumpy because I wanted to tell Bumpy that I commenting back and forth with Bumpy. He's like, oh no, you make sure you can hit 17 minutes for the algorithm. I said, Bumpy, I'm gonna give you 20, kind of as just as good measure as what I replied to his comment. I talked for 25 minutes, if not longer. 25 minutes. And I mean, I know these videos are not for everyone, and I say that in the video in the video. I know these videos are not for everyone, but they are for the people they are for are going to watch these videos and appreciate the stories, the things I talk about, the things that I say, how I say it, the emotion behind it, all of those things. And Bumpy, I do appreciate you asking such a great question and an emotional question because it was definitely emotions involved But just like you said, B, it's like every Thanksgiving, every this thing, every time I do one of these things, every time this thing happens, every time this, everything that, and bruh, it's just, woo, woo. I was, mm, oh goodness. But
I've been,
I think it's a good one. I think it's a good one, and it's one of those ones where I think you'll be able to relate, or if you can't relate, you haven't done a big enough cook yet. Let's put it that way. Um, so Bumpy, how was your Thanksgiving, man? I know you're probably gonna be cutting out soon because you get up early in the morning, as do I. I've been back in the gym. I keep trying to talk about it and motivate myself to get in there tomorrow. I got to get up tomorrow at 4:15. Bumpy said I ask questions that I've asked myself. All right, well, go ahead and ask another one of those questions where you know, and that I won't say I can almost always, I'm not always, I can almost tell you what the questions are going to be, Bumpy. You asked me how many times I wanted to quit. I'm sure you asked you probably asked yourself like, why the hell did I agree to this? Um, why didn't I charge more? That's a good one. Um, definitely, why did I agree to this? Why didn't I charge more? Um, why didn't I get up sooner? Okay, that's a good one because I've had that one before too, where I've been, lollygagging and didn't get up in enough time, and I've been behind schedule from jump. Um, all right, so George says, "Ask dash live." That's not how this works, George. So usually, what I end up doing for the folks who, um, I'm going to actually print screen. And we're going to take your. I'm going to take your question and
it's going to
save
be a
it
video.
into it, make it a video. Um, Only problem is now I got to remember because what I've been doing is going back into the comments of the videos and answering. Like I can look at the comment when you make a comment on a video, and then I also have the screenshot of it, so I can input, put it into the video. But if you ask here, I mean, it's fine. It's just I have to remember that you asked the question. Let's put it that way. Um, but I will answer that one for you. What's the longest, heaviest item that you cooked? Mm. Well, how about this, George? I'll tell you. It was a brisket. That was I won't say that was it, but it was a brisket. I cooked a 20-ish pound brisket one time, and I said, "Oh hell no, I'm never doing that again."
My very first brisket I ever cooked was 23 pounds.
Mm,
Very first. And it was probably my best one ever,
mm,
believe it or
mm.
not.
Really?
Yeah,
What's up? That's that's that beginner's luck.
pretty much. I mean, not that the briskets that I've done after that weren't good, but that one was like just for whatever reason on the mark. It was right there.
That's one of those you didn't know any better, so you thought it was better than it was. But it's all right. Definitely understand, empathize, agree. Roger said phone reminders. Yeah. Um.
Thought about doing what well, there's
Go ahead,
another
turn the light on. Yeah. All
I
right.
forgot the name of the channel. I ran across him, I don't know, probably a couple weeks ago. Um, he does catering. Yeah, but what he does is he just does the cook. The people come to his house to pick up the food.
Mm.
Very simple. He doesn't do any on-site catering or anything like that. He has it set up. The orders come in. By Wednesday, he goes shopping,
Mm-hmm.
and it's ready for the weekend. You could have a Saturday or Sunday pickup,
Pick
but
up. Yeah.
everything is just straight up pickup. He's not traveling anywhere. And I'm like, that'd be pretty cool to do. I mean, for a little
I
extra cash.
don't want people knowing where I lay my head.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You ever hear the 10 correct commandments?
Yeah,
I'm being dead
I
serious.
know. Yeah,
you know, you
I know.
don't no, no. We
But you
don't.
own guns.
Yeah, but I mean, still, I don't want people to be coming where I own my guns. You know what I mean? And that's there's a catch 22 there.
So aside from well, I don't know. For me, that would probably be the only way I would do any catering. I
Okay,
don't want to go anywhere to do any catering. I don't
I
want to
hear
be
you.
driving around all over Kingdom Come. I was thinking about you all day on Thanksgiving, dude.
Hmm.
I really was. And I know the video is probably going to come out, but
I don't know. I
about
filmed no video on Thanksgiving. None. Never.
no,
Never
no,
will
no.
I ever.
For the question about the deliveries,
Yes, that one is on the 5th. Yes,
right?
and
So I
that was
won't ask about that, but
no.
yeah, I don't know, but I've thought about, hey, I've got the smoker. I could definitely do
Yes,
4 or 5 briskets in the one that I
yes,
have. You know, and I've got the process from start to finish, including the hold. It's about maybe an 18-hour cook.
mm,
So I could totally, because I do a long hold after the cook. So I don't know,
mhm.
but the
It's
preparation,
and that is it right there. It's not necessarily even the preparation. Hold on one second. I was gonna make sure you got some noodles too. Oh, all right. I just didn't put them in with the. All right, perfect. Um, yeah, I cooked them in the broth, the stock, but just took them out so they wouldn't get soggy. Yep. All right. Yeah, B. It's one of those things where I nope. Mm-mm. Hard to stop. Hard stop. Now I say hard stop, but I do have a handful of people who do pick up food for me. When I say handful, it is literally a handful of people. Um,
yeah,
and
trusted
it's
trusted people, absolutely.
yes, people who I've done plenty of business with, people who just I won't say if you humbly come to me, but like, listen, I can't, I friends of my I'm gonna say of friends, but like family friends. I have one lady, actually this year was the first year I delivered to her. Um and I like now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't even tell you guys about this part of the delivery, but this lady, right, this one, so in years past, she's been like, I don't want to pay for delivery. Can I come and pick up the turkey? And I'm like, sure. I'm like, it's a difference all of $5 from where you are, but it's the principle, I guess. So I said, sure. And she's a friend of the family. So she came here and was talking to my wife because our kids, her daughter and sister number two, went to school together. So she's like, she talks to my wife, and I'm like, cool. But she's like, "Oh, I don't want to pay the $6 or $5 or $6 for delivery. Can I come and pick it up?" And I'm like, "Really? You know what? Sure, sure." I'm like, "Sure, come on through, come on through." Yeah, yeah, right. I'm like, "Come on through." So this year was the first year where I actually took the food to her house, right? And when I took the food to her house, she told me, she said something about um park next to this particular thing because it's closer to where I am. And the whole thing is, I didn't have any context on what she was talking about, so I didn't know. Well, where the parking lot is for their apartment, right, is here, her apartment is all the way down, like at the end of the courtyard. It's like half a block away from where the parking is. And then it made total sense once I got there and saw, okay, this is what she's talking about. Park in the alley over here because the alley is like two houses away from her house versus walking across the entire courtyard, which might be 40
Right.
houses away from. And I was like, well, I know for next time, and next year she'd probably be like, I'll come and get it. So I'm like, it is what it is. Jimmy, how
I
you
don't
doing this
know.
evening?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm all right. I'm all right. So
Hanging
I'm
in there.
going to, yes, indeed, definitely hanging in there. I am. So one of the things I know
B.
we usually get to talking and hanging out and laughing and joking, and these live streams can go on sometimes for 3 or 4 hours. With the fact that I have been getting up in the morning early, I do not think that that is going to be a possibility. Because not only did I get up early this morning, my intention is to get up early tomorrow morning. So we might have a hard stop and start, reining these back in a little bit to like that hour and a half or 2 hour mark and having a hard stop at 2 hours. Because my goodness, I'm not getting any younger. and and
Bless
I
your
want
heart.
I just
I
I
just want to
Bless
try,
say,
your heart.
I just
yeah,
want to say kudos to you for sticking to it.
sticking with it.
That's
Yeah,
the hard part.
I'm trying. And
It
that's
is
the thing
hard.
too, because if I keep talking about it, I know y'all assholes will hold me accountable.
I'll do it only if you want me to.
Look,
No, it's
is it
fine.
just is it me, or did Thanksgiving just put you behind the curve and you just can't quite catch up yet? The last couple of days it's been like, man,
What?
I just
Well, luckily for me, I'm not behind the curve, um, per se. But I did have some provisions ahead of time where I'm like, all right, I'm not going to, like, my whole thing is, you got Jimmy, you understand this. You put out a video every week. I put out 2 videos every week. And typically I would try to have something filmed ahead of time for Thanksgiving so that after Thanksgiving, I would be right back on schedule on that following Tuesday. This year I said, damn that. I said, damn that. I'm not gonna worry about it. I started doing the Ash Dash stuff, the Ash Dash. December 1 was on Monday. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about putting out because in years past, and B, you weren't here for this, but in years past, I would put out an Ash Dash video and a regular video. I'm not doing that. I'm not. I'm not gonna stress about it. I'm not gonna stress. And I
yeah.
think that is one of the things where I'm gonna say I've turned over a new leaf, but I'm not going to allow YouTube to stress me out. I am not going to let this turn into work. This is supposed to be fun. I'm supposed to be having a good time doing the YouTube. And I already have enough on my plate trying to edit and film a video or edit and film a video for every single day of the month. And these videos are turning out to be, between on the short end, 7, 8 minutes long, on a long end, 25 minutes long of me talking that I have to now edit. And when I edit, let's say a 25-minute video of me, or a 25-minute video will easily take me an hour to edit. Easily take me an hour to edit, if not longer. And have you noticed I have put in very little frills, very little meme stuff, very little music, very little transitions. I When I say
Yep.
basic, basic, and
I,
that is not my MO.
I'm turning into an editing snob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, yeah.
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 And and
Yeah.
I am like, oh man, I want to put in, like, I'm trying to think what. Oh, this is the video for the other channel, for the gun channel. I put in a few memes in that video, and I was like, I felt dirty doing it because I had edited so many videos without putting any memes into it and without putting transitions into it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's see. Bumpy says, honestly, the toll it takes on the family cannot go unnoticed. Our time, their patience with us. We stay trying to balance it all, and I feel like that's the truest hamster wheel or true hamster wheel.
Yep.
Bumpy, I can honestly say I feel this remark more than I do almost anything when it comes to complaining about different things, because my whole thing is this: every time, and this is one of the reasons why people are like, "Oh, you're not cooking anymore," and I'm like, "Yes, I am." It's just you have to give me a good enough reason to cook for you, and not me spend time with my family. And that's one of the things that I said, or I say, is they people
It's
ask me all the time, why don't you set up a brick and mortar? Why don't you set up a trailer? Why don't you set up a truck, right? First of all, it's not easy. Second of all, it's expensive as hell. Third of all, I know that once I go down that path, I will never be able to stop, because there will be debt incurred. There will be prices that, there's
You
there's
are
so
locked
much.
in and forced
Yes, there's
to
so
do
much.
that on a daily
and
basis,
it,
rain or shine. And if it rains and nobody shows up, you are
Oh yeah.
losing your tail
Oh yeah. Yep.
well,
So.
financially.
and listen, yesterday I had a young guy sit down in my office,
Mm-hmm.
and he asked the question, um, you have been in this more than 30 years. What is your
Yeah.
biggest regret
Oh yeah.
that you've had over the 30 years? And I said,
Missing
let me tell
time.
you something. I have missed birthdays. I've had
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
work on Christmas. I have, and my all my children are grown adults. They have their
Yeah.
own family, and those times
You can't
when
get
they were
back.
growing back, when they were growing up, I will never get back.
You
They're
can't.
gone, and and let me tell you, Dash, they're gone. You know,
Dash is gone
you're gonna,
too.
yeah, he is. But you turn around and they're gone. They're your children are grown. They're they're all pursuing their lives,
Yeah,
and and you know, and it's funny because um, I hate the song, but it keeps coming back around, and that's "Cats in the Cradle."
Oh my
You know
gosh,
that
man.
song,
Yes.
and it's
So,
absolutely true.
so you know what's
yep.
funny, right? That was Cat Stevens, right? That made that song. I think Cat Stevens.
Uh, I'm not sure,
I,
Dash.
th- I think it's Cat Stevens. I can Cat Stevens. No, Stevens. Cat Stevens. Uh,
Just put "Cats in the Cradle." That'll show you.
yeah.
That doesn't sound right. I don't think that's Cat Stevens.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep. Cat Stevens. Oh wait. Harry Chaplin.
Yes, Harry
Yes.
Okay.
Chapman. That's
Yep.
it.
I don't know. Maybe I associated Cat Stevens with the because it's Cats in the Cradle.
Right.
Harry Chaplin or Chapin, dude.
Chapin.
Chapin
So
or Chapin.
so Chapin. Look,
Yeah.
Pure
I
French.
mean,
Chapin.
Chapin. Yeah, right. So the whole thing is this, Jimmy. I didn't understand or know about that song until I was in summer camp, and I was in summer camp from like 1990, from 1990 to 92, and
I was working nights.
they used to they used to do skits, right? I told you guys about this, the MTV nights and things like that.
Right.
They used to do skits, and one of the skits or one of the songs, I don't know why, that song was one of the songs that instantly takes me back to summer camp. Instantly takes me back to summer camp
Yeah.
because and I don't remember if it was a skit that was performed, if it was one of the videos that were performed, but the whole thing was they played out the song, like they acted out the song. And once I heard that, and I was like, damn, like as a little kid, seeing it visualized totally changed my perspective on the song. When you hear that song and you're not, trained to listen, to think about it, to understand what it is he's saying, you know how it's the same way with movies. There
Right.
are adult jokes in movies that children, it goes right over their heads,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This is an adult movie song that has a catchy ding 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 ding, like the nursery rhyme type ding 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 ding. I mean, it's almost like a nursery rhyme song sound, but when you listen to the words, it's like, who's cutting onions up in here? And
Yeah.
It's
you know,
profound.
man,
The
it's
song
just like, damn.
just
But Bumpy, I completely understand, and I have said it, I have said it. If I were to go into doing barbecue full time, it would not be until my youngest daughter is out of college. Not even out of high school, but out of college.
yeah.
Because I want this to be a thing where I don't have to worry about going to any sporting events. I don't want to have to go to any games. When Taste Tester number two, when I was, missing his games because I had to cook, that killed me. And he was, he would tell you, my dad will be here at this game. My dad will be here at this game. My dad will be here at this thing. My dad will be here at that thing. But when he started having games on Saturdays and or Friday nights and or other days of the week where I'm like, yo, I gotta cook. I gotta go make money. I can't sit out in this field all day. That was it was hurtful, right? Even though wasn't like it wasn't like the end of the world, but I knew I wanted to be there for him to support him. And when I couldn't be there, it was like, damn, that just hurt. It sucked.
So
Um,
on that comment that you just had, when my I'm a contractor. My father was a
yeah,
contractor growing up,
uh-huh.
right? So um, for my events when I was in school, my dad was never there because he was always off working. He was a contractor. He had the responsibilities of a business owner. He had to be out on the job site. He couldn't be at all the events and stuff. I think in high school, I think he
I see
for
you,
the
Jimmy.
for the full 4 years I was in high school, he only attended one event that I was in.
Mm,
And that one event, I I kind of hated him for it because it's like, hey, you weren't even here for the rest, for the other times that I mean, and
yeah.
this is just me, but
Of course, but
I was
hindsight being
somewhat
2020.
resentful. Yeah,
Yep. I get it. I understand. So
but
but
knowing now, having been a business owner all these years, I can empathize. I could see exactly
mhm.
what he was doing. He was more concerned about making sure that
Food was
money
on the
was
table for you guys. Yep.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
So
Bumpy, I completely understand and agree. And now here's another thing. I've said this in the past. Um, when I was laid off, right? I was laid off from work in 2014 through 2014 through like June of 2015, right? And my whole thing was my sons were still going and were still in elementary school, and they were going to school across town. So I used to have to pick or take my sons to school. Actually, I used to have to take my daughter to daycare. Actually, I don't think so. No, my wife would take my daughter to daycare. I would take my sons to school, and then I would come back home, cook and or get whatever I had already cooked overnight together to be delivered for like lunch or like before I picked them up in the afternoon. Then I would pick up my boys in the afternoon, drive back on the side of town, pick up my daughter, hopefully be able to drop food off in between. Let me tell you, Bumpy, how many times I've had to take my sons to sketchy places around Baltimore City, my daughter to sketchy places
yeah,
around Baltimore City to deliver food way back when, okay? And I did it because I had to, right? I was laid off. I had to make some money somehow, and that was how I made my money. Now, the good thing is in that 2014, 2015 time frame when I was out and about delivering food, that's when I was selling food via Instagram, right? And that was before the algorithm changed and like I could post something at 9 o'clock and you could see it between 9:15 and 9:30, and then that would get your gears going to you would figure out what you wanted for lunch. So I was able to literally sell my food within minutes or hours because as people scrolled on their devices, my things were showing in real time. Versus now, I can scroll on Instagram. I don't know when it was posted. It could be, 6 minutes from now, or 6 minutes ago, or 6 days ago. And I don't know. And every
Yep.
time I post something now, the only things that, like, though, granted, of course, I posted some stuff for Thanksgiving and things like that. Those posts, because they got so much engagement, were being shown to more things, more people. But let me say I'm selling a turkey, or I have an extra turkey and I'm trying to sell it. People won't see that post for 4 hours minimum, and then it won't be shown again for another 4 days. So yes. Um Bumpy says, people I knew before barbecue come to my house only. Yeah. Uh, this is
Geraldo,
Gerald Sandoval.
good seeing you.
Hurrah. Oh, Geraldo Sandoval. He says, good evening, all. Yeah, all of the letters ran together and my eyes are a little bit crossed. So, yeah, there's that. Glenn. So, I just want to give a shout out to Glenn. Glenn came to the range over the weekend. And it's
Ooh,
funny
nice.
because, what did you say?
Nice.
Yeah, he didn't shoot though. So Glenn, we gotta figure that part out. So I'm in the range, right?
Be
And
like
one of
me
my
showing up.
yeah, well, you would if I won't
I'd
say I
actually
would make
shoot.
you shoot,
I would
but
actually
you
shoot. I
yeah.
I just don't have a lot of experience doing it.
Oh, trust me, I will literally hold your hand, B. That's what I
I
do.
know you would. I know you would.
Literally, I will hold your hand. That's what I do. But anyway, so I'm in the range and I'm literally holding this girl's hand, right? I'm helping this girl shoot, and one of my coworkers comes in and he says, "Hey, your internet fame precedes you." And I said, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Nice.
He says, "Dash, right?" I said, "Oh boy." He said, "Well, there's a guy out there looking for you." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, what's his name?" He said, "Well, he told me his name was Glenn." I said, "Oh, I know exactly who that is." He's like, "Well, he said it's Glenn something." I said, "No, triplet. I know exactly who that is." And he's like, "So you know who he is?" I was like, "Yeah, I know who he is." I'm like, "All right." So I tell the couple, it was not even a couple, it was a mom, a daughter, and then a friend of a friend was helping them shoot, right? So the friend of a friend was having issues. He went out and was talking to the like the retail guys. And then the mom and the daughter were still, in the range. When I say the mom was definitely high strung and very, very controlling, and she was trying to tell me, she was trying to, you don't know what you're doing. You cannot control this situation. Mom, I need you. Look, I gave her a stool and I said, "Here, mom, I need you to sit right here." I said, "I have your daughter. I will make sure that she is fine." I said, "I'm going, you are making her more nervous right now because of what you are trying to talk to her." I said, "I got her. I got her." Right. I didn't say that, right? Because that would just set the mom off because that's how she was. But I said, "Mom," I said, let me give her, let me talk to her for a second." So I go and I talk to the little girl, and I think her name was like Andre or Andrea or something. And I'm like, "Hey, what's something you like to do? What's something you do?" And she told me she plays soccer. And I'm like, "Oh my God, soccer is definitely not something that you can learn how to do overnight. The first time you went and played soccer, you sucked at it. I don't care what you say, you sucked at it." And I'm like, "You had to build up your endurance. You had to build up your stamina. You had to learn the things that contribute to being a good soccer player, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." And the mom, I can see the mom out of the corner of my eye nodding and agreeing in agreement, right? And the whole thing is, I'm just kind of talking to the little girl. I found out she's 19. Talking to the little girl, and I'm trying to take her out of where we were, right? And just, let's have a conversation. You and I have a conversation. And then, I won't say disarmed her, but she was not so anxious after we talked. And we're talking in on the range. So, but it was one of those things where literally I will hold your hand. But he came in while I was talking to them, and I'm like, "Hey, excuse me for a moment." and I popped out and talked to Glenn really quickly. And I apologized to Glenn that I couldn't stay and hang out with him longer. But he was like, "Oh, I was just passing through. I figured I would stop." And Glenn, he's got to come back. Glenn, you got to come on back. Come on back to the range. So
That's cool.
Roger,
You actually stopped by to say
oh
hi.
yes,
That's
I
awesome.
I agree. I agree. And you know what is one of the other things too that is really cool is I've had probably half a dozen people, maybe a few more, that have said, "Hey man, I've seen your YouTube channel. Hey man, I've seen you, you helped me clean my Canic, or hey man, you helped me take apart my Canic." And I'm like, "What? Dude, comment," right? I'm telling people to comment on the videos. I'm like, "Dude, just say yeah," right? All right, so Roger says just do raw uploads. I can't. I used to. I can't. I can't do it. Only
I
because you said what?
okay. The algorithm for YouTube hates me. Okay, because I
Okay.
am not your typical viewer. I mean, I am more into just the raw emotions of a video. Howdy.
Hey,
But yeah,
Linda.
I totally agree with non-writer.
But
Totally agree.
it's not
100%.
necessarily the raw
Yes.
emotions. I will edit out sometimes the ums, the ahs, the yawns,
That's
the
fine. But
Linda.
it's the
Hey,
raw
Linda.
videos.
Good night, Linda.
Yep.
It's the raw videos that draws me to it.
Yes, I hear you. I hear you, and maybe I'll get to that point. But the video editor in me in the past 10 years cannot allow. Like I have started to allow. I have started to allow the ums, the ahs. Like I don't know what it is. When I'm sitting out in the cold, my nose runs like crazy, and I'm like that annoys me when I do it. So if I can catch a clean, like a or a ah, and I'm trying to run, catch my nose basically from running, I will snatch that up out of that video real quick. And then the problem is if I snatch up let's say a tenth of a
You
second
have to
of the
use
video,
some sort of transition. I know. I know.
and what I have been doing is not putting the transition in, and just if you see a jump and I jump in the video and it's close, okay, I had to take out an hour me, sniffing my nose. All right. So
And
that's what it is.
this is why the precise reason I don't do any videos on my channel at all. Because I'm too self-conscious about it. That's what it
Oh,
is.
agreed. Trust me.
People, I kid you not, if you left that in, I wouldn't think twice about it. It
Yeah, I
really
know,
wouldn't
but
matter to me.
and I know you wouldn't, but someone brought it to
A
me.
It would
lot of
Someone
bother
people
brought the
you.
would.
It would bother you.
Somebody brought the ums and the ahs to my attention many, many moons ago, and
Yep.
it is just one of those things that just sits up,
I
You know,
I I edited
hey,
a
so,
video
hey,
today.
so,
I took out 20. Well, okay,
yep.
okay.
Well, okay,
And
we're
that
gonna do
that was
this.
like my cue
Oh,
words
oh,
when I
yep,
start
yep,
a
yep.
video.
That is
Okay,
a
for,
trans.
here we
Yep.
go.
Well, yep.
for
Hey,
me, I don't want a robot on YouTube.
sorry, Scrog.
I want somebody that's real, that is gonna have flaws. It makes it more real for me.
Well, and the
Once
two
again,
things
I'm different. The algorithm hates me
Yeah,
because I consume the
it's
videos in a different way than people do.
the
it's
two
not the
things that I have tried to do, and Dash is to blame for both of them. The two things I have tried to do in the last 6 weeks,
We
I
all
have put
blame Dash.
I put shorts out on the video. It's like, in the middle of the week, like today for Sunday's video, I did a short on this video this coming Sunday.
the
And
so the thing is this, Jimmy, put out the short for the past video, not for the upcoming video.
okay, why?
So the whole thing is YouTube will show the short, and then people will say, "Oh, well, I want to watch the whole video."
It will
It,
suggest that video.
correct. You don't want to put out. You only
So
want to put shorts out if you
After.
already have exactly after.
After you
Okay.
posted the
See,
video.
for 6 weeks, I've done it backwards.
Yes.
And the other thing was what you were talking about with what was the guy that you ate with? Al.
Al, yes.
Al. Um, it's the last 2 or 3 videos have been more sit down with you and go through this cook with you rather
Yep.
than
This is what I'm
instruct
doing
you at
today.
how to
Yep.
do it.
Yep.
So
I have been
we'll
trying to
see.
do more of that too. Where I'm like, hey, like I even in the last, I'm trying to think what. Oh, the I was at the. I can't remember if it was on the Big Green Egg or if it was on the Traeger, but I said, hey, you guys are going to hang out with me while I get this done. I'm pretty sure I said something, if not those exact words. I said something to that effect of, hey, I'm doing this today, and you guys are going to hang out and watch me get it done. Um, and that same exact thing, it's everybody wants to come hang out with you at the grill.
Yeah.
So yeah, so let's see. Peaches says, hi Dash and chat, it's me Susie, but in my other YouTube channel. Love you guys and always watching everyone's tube. Jimmy, you're killing it. Oh, that's what's up.
Susie,
She's
you're
really
awesome.
she's a
Sure
sweetheart.
is. Listen. Um, Bumpy said he'll listen to the song tomorrow. I've been down the rabbit hole of soft rock, Fleetwood Mac, Hall and Oates, Phil Collins. Yeah, man, I'm sure we can add to that list. But if you
We can
haven't
definitely.
Yeah.
and do not know, YouTube Music is obviously I'm pretty biased. I have a YouTube centric everything. So because I pay for a YouTube subscription, with my YouTube subscription to get ad free, I get access to YouTube Music. So I don't use like Spotify or Apple Music or anything else. I use YouTube Music or even Amazon Music or whatever Amazon calls it. But the whole thing is like if you put in an artist and do a search for that artist and just press play, it will find like songs, and then like I won't say they'll never repeat, but they won't repeat for quite a long time until you start liking different songs, and then it will play a liked song of yours in your mix every now and again. But I'm a big fan of YouTube Music, and I use when I'm working out. I have a song that I start to work out with, and then it just boom, it goes to any old place where everywhere.
Did you ever
He
listen to that? Did you ever listen to that playlist that I sent you? I'm just curious.
I'm not sure. I don't
Not
remember, so I probably
workout
haven't.
workout
Was it?
playlist.
Is it on you? Was it on YouTube?
No, it was on Spotify.
See, I don't do
Yeah,
Spotify, so I think that's probably part of the reason why I couldn't. I don't say
it
listen
was
to
all
it.
it was all death metal. So
Oh well. So it's funny you say that, right? So there's a band that comes into, or there's a guy who's like the lead singer of a band that comes into the range, and he sings metal. He does metal, right? I won't say sings, but he screams metal. All right, I guess.
okay,
We call it
And
type
Cookie
of guy.
Monster
Good
music.
deal.
what is it,
We
Jimmy?
call it Cookie Monster music.
Tell you the lyrics just by listening to it one time.
All right. So I said that being said, the lead singer of the band comes in, and the people in the range know who this guy is, right? Because he's like local and he's kind of a big deal locally. Anyway, we're apparently supposed to be going to one of his shows on New Year's Eve. And they're
Mm,
like, yeah, they're like, don't really know if you'd be
nice.
into this, but we're all going to this particular show. And I was like, okay. I was like, you know what? I would go just for the experience to say that I've done it. Because the whole thing was when the guy told me who he was, I put on the guy's song. Was it for me? No. Did I understand it? No. But the guy who was shooting, who was the lead singer,
Lead
he
singer.
appreciated it. He
Yeah.
appreciated it. He's like, he's shooting, he's shooting, And then he stops and he puts down the firearm and he's like, am I going crazy? Like, is somebody messing with me? And he turns around and he's like, am I hearing me right now? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's so cool. And
He
I have
didn't
a
recognize his own song.
he had to, you got to remember, we're on the range and it's loud. He couldn't
Okay.
hear it over everything. So, but when he stopped and heard that he's like, I'm not going crazy. I am hearing the music. He was appreciative that I would take the time to stop what I was playing as far as music wise, seek out his music and then play it.
You know,
Keon,
I,
he says, "Hey
I'll be
yo, what up,
honest.
Dash and Barbecue fam?" Go ahead, B. What'd you say?
I'll be honest. The first, my son, when he was in high school, introduced me to death metal. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I I went to college to become a music teacher,
Huh.
an musical arts teacher. So
Okay.
I listen to my favorite genre is big band jazz. Hands
Okay.
down, my favorite. I listen to classical, rock. The only thing I really don't listen to is country too much, and that's just a personal choice. But
Wait. Country or western?
country, country western is cool.
Both
Country,
kinds.
I don't like.
we got we
All right.
got we
Look,
got all types of music, both kinds, country
yeah.
and
See,
western.
look, I'm gonna
Well,
catch you on the
there's a
movie
big
reference.
difference between the two. There's a big, to me, there's a big difference. Sorry. Anyway, but my son, he's like, I listen to a lot of rock. And so he's like, "Hey, Dad, check this out, right?" And he played
Mm-hmm.
this one song, and I'm like, "My God, what is this guy
Mm-hmm.
even saying, right?" You know, and because it was all screams and growls and blah blah blah, right? And so, yeah, pretty much, right? It just vocal cords full of phlegm,
Uh-huh.
basically. So
What up, Taj?
he's like, "Don't listen to it
KB.
like that. Listen like it's an instrument. Don't try to understand what the lyrics are. Be appreciative of the musical aspect of it."
Mm-hmm.
And I did. And
The
boy,
rest is
howdy,
history.
it. Anyway, but that was just me. I don't
So
try to listen to the
Russ
lyrics.
says, "Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe all." Yes.
Damn straight.
Yo, listen, I have to give credit where credit is due. Roger put me on to Yacht Rock Radio and we rode all the way to Cape Cod and back. We were in the ID4 for 18 plus hours and we listened to nothing but Yacht Rock Radio. So Roger used to work for Sirius XM before it was like all one. He's worked for Sirius before it was Sirius and XM were merged, right? So he's always had that, um, satellite radio. So we're riding towards Cape Cod, and this is on a fact finding mission to try to get Vanna home. And we're riding, and he's like, "Oh man, it's my favorite type of time of year. This is when they put on the yacht rock." And I was like, "What the hell is yacht rock?" And he's like, "Oh man, these all these songs like soulful songs from the 70s or whatever that basically you could listen to on a boat." And I'm like, "Well, I ain't got no boat, and I'm not from the 70s." But we start listening to this joint, and man, we were so not only did I find yacht rock on Sirius when Taste Tester number one was buying his car, the dealership had on Yacht Soul. Okay.
Hmm,
And
nice.
when I say it's 70s and 80s soul music, okay,
Mhm.
some of it is like,
Temptations, blah blah
what the
blah.
hell? Other times it's like, oh man, dude. Like I get people in the range and they're like, oh man, he in here jamming. Like, of course, all the old heads be like, man, D jamming. So, but yes, yacht rock has now changed from the the thing that I listen to. I used to listen to that in the range just to not offend anybody, but now I listen to more yacht soul than anything. Taj says C is for cookie. Skull.
We sit on the same old bench
Oh
just to
man.
watch the children play.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
No.
That's old school. Old school. Have you seen her?
What movie is it?
No. That's the song. Have you seen her?
Oh yes. Definitely. No, I know this. I think I
It's
would need
got
to hear more.
got the
Da da da
whole.
da 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 da. Have you seen it? I would have to hear
That's
more of
it.
it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I know the song. It's just
That's it.
that
That's
particular.
it.
I'm gonna say verse, the lyric in the song.
Everybody back in the day knew every word to the
That
prologue
song.
of that song. Yeah.
Have you ever
I,
seen American Graffiti, the movie?
Oh yeah.
so I
Okay.
have not seen it in its entirety.
I live in Modesto where American Graffiti originated, where it started. The whole thing started, right? Every year they have the graffiti cruise, blah blah blah.
Yep.
So anyway, but we used to cruise to. I mean, I was into old school cruising music back then, and I still am now. But to me, that's always going to have a soft spot in my heart.
Hmm.
But
You're right,
yeah,
KB.
Brian
yeah.
Brian used to yell out, "Grease lightning, go grease lightning."
That is my daughter's 21. Or 20. That is my daughter's favorite musical.
Oh
Grease.
boy. Anyway, all right. So Taj said, "I tell you what, the older I get, the more I appreciate country. I I just can't. I can't get with it. Listen to some Ginger Pisces, Ginger
Yes.
Pit.
Oh my gosh. That's a good introduction to growls. She's got a phenomenal voice. Very, I'd say 70% of the song is not growls. It's all
Hmm.
clean vocals. She's got a phenomenal voice, but you would have to just watch it. There's a crap ton of video reactors doing, and it's about, I think it's like 4 or 5 years old, the song. Fantastic voice. The way the group is from Ukraine, just
Mm.
an amazing group.
What What's a good
Very
song to listen to?
from Ginger. Pisces.
Yes,
Pisces
Pisces is the name of the song.
is that is the song that put them on the map. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I have Ginger Pisces um queued up the live in Los Angeles version.
Yep.
Look, KB says bring back the '80s hair bands. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Peaches says Russ always clutch. Yes, like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Blind man, he says, "Hey Dash and crew, dude, I was just talking about you, and I'm like, yo, it's got to be midnight or after midnight now there where you are. So I was not expecting to see you, to be completely honest, because I was like, oh man, I know he is 2 hours ahead. Let's see, Chris is here. He says, Dash, Jimmy, California, and he's shouting out, uh,
B.
uh, no, Steven.
Oh,
I'm trying to multitask here, and I got thrown off.
yeah.
So Taj did know the song, and he said, "Look, I guess Susie did too." And the shy lights, yes,
You
indeed.
see,
Now, if the whole thing, I don't know. I don't know. It would be one of those things where if I heard it from the beginning, then I could put one and one together. But just hearing that little bit, I would need more context. So, but I know there's some intros or like interludes or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call them
Put
on songs that I'm more familiar with. That as soon as I hear it, I can sing the whole rest of the song.
put that one
Um,
right.
down. The Child Lights. Have you seen her?
yeah,
Put
yeah,
that one
yeah.
down to go back and listen to that later, because you'll
No, no,
say,
no.
"Oh yeah, I know
I
every word of that one."
no, no, no. I probably won't ever know every word, but I know for sure that is one of the songs that I do at least. Let's see.
You
Not
probably have
across
heard
the
it recently if that's what you're listening to.
Maybe I am going to because between Have You Seen Her and My Girl, those are definitely
She used to be my girl.
Yeah.
no, not even
No, my
didn't
girl,
didn't they?
Yeah,
my
yeah,
girl.
yeah,
Talking
Yeah,
about
My
yeah.
Girl. Hey, yes, no. So now I'm listening to it. Hey,
And it's funny because that was during the era that the intro was like three
longer
minutes
than the
long.
song.
Yeah, that's right.
It was longer than the song.
That's right. That's right.
Oh
Just the way
man,
they
look.
did it.
Oh shoot, you had to tell the story before you sang the song.
That's right.
Definitely.
That's
Oh
what
wait,
that was.
Keon said I started playing a version, playing AI version of hip hop songs in the car. Some of them are funny. Sure enough, sure enough. Um, let's see. Quentin Nelson said my son took me to a Zach Whalen band.
Mm,
It's called Zach Sabbath. A
Zabbath.
couple weeks ago. Well, for my 60th birthday, I kind of liked it. I'm mainly country and western and jazz guy, but I enjoyed the concert. Yeah. All right.
You
Okay.
know,
I said he worked at Sirius. He said he worked at XM. My bad. I mean, it's like right Twix versus left Twix.
Yep.
there's
Quentin, how you
great
doing this evening?
performers. There's great
Yeah.
performers in all genres. There really is.
So Scrog said the best part of American Graffiti was the cars. B has talked about the American Graffiti and the
I met
cars.
Wolfman Jack, yeah, when he was alive at
Mm,
American Graffiti.
okay. Um, let's see. Oop, I need to put the Victor. Oh my goodness. Hold on one second, Victor. Victor, I don't see you.
He's hiding.
Well, he just woke up from a nap, I'm sure.
He's
Ah,
on the he's on the
He's
treadmill.
he is spinning. That's why I get on the exercise bike and not the treadmill.
if you ever see the movie American Graffiti, the cruising scenes when I was in high school, and this is what, maybe 15 years after they portrayed the 1950s cruising, how crowded the cruising was. That's how it
Mhm.
was every weekend on the strip. Every
Oh yeah.
weekend.
I
It
won't say
was
every place has a strip like that because
no,
in
but
Philly that strip used to be South Street and it still is.
yeah,
Um,
they
in
actually they actually banned the cruising in
Yep.
Modesto. Where we were at, where
Mhm.
American Graffiti was at. They banned the cruising, and they for probably about 15 years, and now they finally reinstalled cruising, so you could actually
Mm.
start cruising again.
Wow.
But it's kind of lost its little, the sentiment of the whole American Graffiti.
No, it'll come back. I won't say slowly, but it'll come back. It's just the right people have to kind of not put their stamp of approval on it, but have to kind of like I'm sure Jimmy, you've heard about what happened in Gatlin, Tennessee. Was it Gatlinburg rather, or Pigeon Forge
I'm
with
not
the
sure. Not probably not.
so um you guys remember about me talking about the car show that I went to out in Ocean City called H2O and
Right.
how it got ruined by the car scene folks or the scene folks that went to be seen and not like seen and not being a car scene type folks. Well, the same or similar people went to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and did almost the same exact shenanigans. And the
Yeah.
town basically is like, we don't want this car show here. We don't want this gathering here. It's like, it's not a car show. We don't want this gathering here. Don't come back. You are not welcome. One of those type things. And it's like, I heard that before from Ocean City. Okay. And it's not a good look. So same thing, B. After a while, it will hopefully calm down and I want to say clearer
Well,
heads will prevail.
it was the violence that incurred over the,
Hmm.
and we're talking back in the 80s when the gangs were most prevalent. The cops didn't know how to deal with it appropriately, so they just shut everything down. But yeah, listen to the studio live version of Pisces.
Scrog said even Ginger Pisces was too much screaming for me.
Mm.
Blind Man said it's only 11:13 here. I guess we're now on the same time zone. Whereas before, you're still an hour ahead. So I guess maybe you do daylight savings time too. I thought you moved. All right, here you go. This is for you, Bumpy. Bon Jovi, Dead or Alive, great range song.
Yep.
Scrog said, I don't mind some screaming, but more or less only if it's very minimal or background.
Yeah. It's not for everybody.
What up, Kent? Kent, I think tomorrow's video is for you and Uncle Steve. Peaches said, if you can find a Hall & Oates version of She Used to Be My Girl is jamming. Yeah. Oh, man, Mr. Telephone Man.
Yeah.
Blind Man said he just got home from his dinner service at school. Nice. How did it go, Dave? If you listen to Halocene cover, Don't Stop Believing, Lauren Babick does the perfect amount of screaming at the right times. Yeah. Hey, y'all. Throwing Dart League. I'll be in and out. All right. Victor, come back. Oh, he says, my connection is bad. Howdy, y'all. So Scrog's the same in Salt Lake City. We cruise State Street until the authorities put a stop to it. Same thing in Philly. They used to. So mind you, this was again when I was a kid. The place to be, the place to hang out was South Street. Like definitely, the place to hang out was South Street. And you used to go to be seen by everybody and their mother. So you would get to South Street and just drive up and down South Street, right? Just ride up and down, ride up and down. But the thing was, you had to know like what streets you could go into or cut through, because the cops used to stop traffic from getting onto South Street because it was too many cars on South Street, so they should stop traffic. So I had a loop where I would go down to like 3rd Street, come back around. One of the streets was Lombard and the other was Cambridge, and I can't remember. I think it was Cambridge on one side of South Street and Lombard on the other, that ran in the opposite directions. But anyway, I go back up on, let's say, Cambridge, and then there was a little alley, like a driveway, that I could cut through and get back onto South Street. Because once I got off South Street, you couldn't get back on South Street because the cops would direct traffic. Like they would have 3 or 4 block spans where you could get onto South Street until you could get to that next, place where they turned everybody off. And I used to just keep doing the same loop of like 4 blocks in between the side street and the driveway, South Street, and then another side street.
The cruising were in Modesto. It would from one stoplight to the next, which you're probably looking maybe an eighth of a mile, right?
Okay.
Not even a quarter mile. And so from one stoplight to the next, it would take you an hour and a half to get to that next stoplight.
Jeez.
There were so many cars.
That was well before cars were like reliable. How did your car survive that?
A lot of gas. No, it was it was interesting. So me and my friends,
No
we would meet
spicy.
up at
It's just
like
pepper. Huh.
we would just meet up
Okay.
at we would just sit in the parking lot of like a Taco Bell. I don't know if you guys have Taco Bell out there or not, but
Taco Bell,
just
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, we would sit in front of a Taco Bell
Oh,
and we would just yell and holler at all the girls that
Oh
drove
yeah.
by.
Mm.
So
So my friends and I used to have this game where we used to, and Taj is here. So I don't know if Taj. I'm sure Taj can attest to this, right? So we used to there's a bar, and yeah, it was just a bar. It's called Fat Tuesdays. It's still there on South Street. So, but Fat Tuesdays had a like a railing that overlooked South Street because you had to walk up a set of stairs to get up into the bar. Like the bar was on the second level, so you walked up the stairs to get to the bar, but you could stand on the like it was like a balcony almost, but it was just a railing because there was a bouncer and then there was like a little gate and then there was like 4 or 5 chairs and you could look out onto South Street as people walk by and people watch. My friends and I used to have a game where we would sit on that balcony and call out to girls' names, call out to women as they walk past. And if you got one to come up to the bouncer, you got a drink, right? And one night when I was probably all of, 18, I'm there with at least 3 of my friends. So Taj, you might appreciate this. I think Pook and Tone were down there. And I'm not sure if you were there or if Dunn was there too, but I called this girl and I was like, Roxanne, whatever her name was. Roxanne. And she
Sam.
looked and she looked up and I'm like, hey. And she's like, hi. She don't know who I am because I don't know who she is. I just guessed her name, right? So I'm like, come on up. Mind you, I don't know who this person is. Right? I don't know who this person is. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, come up, come on. So she comes up the stairs and I'm like, y'all owe me. Y'all owe me. So I was like, oh man. I was like, you don't remember me from blah 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 blah. She was like, no. I was like, well, it's all right. Why I was like, I'm Dash, blah blah blah, and I'm just like trying to talk to her at that point, right? I'm like trying to get refamiliarize myself with her. It was so funny because, like I said, I just randomly called out somebody's name and it was hers, and she was like, "How do I know you again?" Don't worry about it.
So my
um,
best friend back in the day, my best friend owned a car stereo shop, right? So we used to cruise in his truck all the time. He had a demo truck, and it was a 1990 extended cab, long bed, just a big limousine of a truck, right?
yep.
He had this huge stereo system in it. For back in the day, it was like one of the loudest in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'd be driving around, he and I, and just out of the blue, I would stick my head out the window at somebody on the side of the road.
Yell
Didn't
out a
matter
name.
if it was a female or a male, and I'd yell, Larry! And I'd wave. And the person would wave. And he just thought it was the funniest thing in that he had ever heard, right? And I said, and finally I told him, I go, you don't understand. They'll recognize your truck.
Yeah.
Once again, stirring the pot.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Blind Man Dave said, "Are you on Eastern Time?" Yes. I am on Eastern Time. Taj says, "Careful, click clack, Wu
Dang.
Tang,
Yes.
a song to go to the range." Yeah. I'm surprised Brian missed the Blues Brothers bit.
I love the Blues Brothers.
All right. Dave said it was good. His service was good. He said they served 40 people.
Oh, nice.
Not a link, but the address. Yeah. You can't post a link. Yep. Where's the other Quentin tonight? Who knows? Oh, no, he should be back home by now. So Taj says it's worse on South Street now. Yeah. Um. Wow.
I didn't
I'm
say it
not
wasn't.
even. No, no,
Wasn't
no.
me.
It be your own. It be your own people. It be your own people. Tasha's facts, yo, because we used to have a loop. Definitely. Victor said he tried to stream, it wouldn't connect. Sorry about that. Zach Attack says, "Howdy Dash, been a while." Yes, indeed, man. How you doing? You think it would be more than 6% off by now? Hmm. Zach said, "How many turkeys did I smoke?" I ended up smoking 16 turkeys all told. I smoked one a few days before that. I ended up sending the turkey breast to Travis, my homie Travis, and then the leg quarters and the wings I sent with my wife and daughter to my mother-in-law's house in Florida. So, and I, vacuum sealed it, and my wife said that they put it in some warm water, kind of like sous vide, to warm it back up, and it was fantastic. So, yeah,
Got a question for you, and I
yes.
don't know if you want to make this for one of the videos or not, but what's the longest hold you've held any protein?
So, I'm going to be answering a very similar question to that.
Okay.
Someone asked the question. Hold on, I'm gonna read the question to you. Um, Adrenaline Turkey Call says, "What do you do to hot hold large amounts of meat until it's ready to be served or delivered, or do you just plan out your cook to get rid of it shortly after taking off the pit?" So that question is in the works. Um,
Okay. Good deal.
I did not hold. Oh, so Bumpy is going to be December 9th. Susie is December 12th. Excuse me, 10th. So I had two questions from Susie, and then that was six. I'm going to limit my questions to six at a time for good reason.
Now, got a
Um,
question. For the new questions, do you want that in the original video or just in the
mm-mm.
comments of
in
the
the
ones?
comments of a in the
Okay.
comments of a newer video, because what happens is I am what just comment in a new video. It makes it easier for me.
I
All
get it.
right.
I get it.
All right. Plus, that's engagement on new videos, not the old videos. George says Belmar. Wait, down in Belmar, we would cat call every barber. Yeah, oh, Zach says, so what's your opinion on just smoking the breast? I have just smoked the breast before. Last year, I believe, was the first year I had someone order just a breast. And the reason why I smoked this whole turkey was because the whole turkey was cheaper than the breast was. Um, with that being said, I talked to Travis about sending him a turkey breast, and just like I said, the whole turkey was substantially cheaper. So I just cooked the whole thing, cut the wings off of the breast, and then cut the leg quarters off. And I was like, now we can eat some turkey. So it was a no brainer for me, especially because turkey breasts are so much more expensive than the turkeys, the whole turkey. Blind man asked if I cooked any lamb for Thanksgiving. Yes, I did two boneless legs of lamb for Thanksgiving. I had two. I had three orders. I had a 1 pound order, and I had two orders for boneless legs of lamb. So yeah. Zach says Dash is just becoming so famous. Whatever. I will say my warming oven I bought this year came in handy over Thanksgiving. Nice.
Absolutely.
I said it because we usually just eat the breast while turkey has to be cooked higher for duck meat. Um, I won't say not necessarily. You know, if you were not going for a presentation, cut the turkey up and take out the pieces, out of the smoker as they are done. Um,
Now, have you spatchcocked a turkey?
Not for one that I'm selling for Thanksgiving.
But for your family, you have.
No.
Oh,
So I spatchcocked the turkey because I had a company, and I think I've talked about this company. Is this like this girl lived in Baltimore City and she worked for this company that was way down in Northern Virginia somewhere, and she hit me up and she's like, "Hey, is there any way you could do this catering job for my company? We are way down in Tyson's Corner or wherever, right, somewhere in Virginia, early Northern Virginia." And I said, "Well, let me map it, right? Let me see how far away you are." And she's like, "Oh, it's a good hour and a half from Baltimore, depending on traffic." And I'm like, "Let me see where it is." Sure enough, it was an hour, like 15 minutes. And I'm like, "Damn, that's a hike." I said, "But delivery is billable." Okay. So I drew up an invoice and then I said, "Here's the delivery fee, here's this, here's that, boom, boom, boom." And they were like, "Okay, cool. Here's the money." And I was like, "Yeah, oh wait, y'all for real?" Yes. So, but the thing was, they asked me to cook a turkey for them, but they asked me to carve the turkey for them. And I'm like, "I don't know nothing about carving no damn turkey. Like, why would I? I don't know how to carve a turkey." So
I'm just
the
a
thing
man.
was, yo, the thing was, I said, "All right, well, if I'm gonna carve up the turkey, I think I went online and tried to find out how to carve a turkey, or my wife sent me a Instagram message, and it was like, "This is the best way to slice up and serve your turkey for Thanksgiving." And I was like, "All right, I'll bite," and I watched the video. Well, the person cut the back out, opened it up, cut the turkey in its entirety in half, and then cooked it. Proceeded to cook it, but when they were cooking it, they ended up taking the leg quarters off of the breast, right? And I'm like, brilliant. They're cooking at different temperatures, different orientation. I'm like, all of those things. It's just that's great, right? The way they cut it up, I was like, I could do that. And then when that that company reached out and said that they wanted me to carve the turkey, I'm like, well, damn, this video was right on time. It's teaching me how to
He's
carve the turkey and how to cut it up. So it made a lot of sense. And then what ended up happening was they I got the turkey, cut it up, brined it, and then I'm not sure if we got weather or what, but they ended up canceling the original meeting that I don't say meeting, the original event. So I'm like, okay, well now what? Right? And they're like, "Well, if we, do it again on a different date, would you be available?" And I'm like, "What's the date? What's the different date?" So they tell me they tell me, and it's like a week later.
oh,
And I'm like, "All right, well, let me go ahead and take this turkey out of the brine," and then I just vacuum sealed it. So, and the whole thing was, I'm like, I wouldn't be able to vacuum seal it if I didn't take it out of the brine and cut it up into smaller pieces. So having it cut up in smaller pieces helped me cook it faster. And when it came time to carve it, I was able to
you
just
can
like
separate.
take I cut the breast up and like cut slices into the breast.
Yeah,
Same thing with the thigh, cut kind of like slices or chunks into the thigh, and then I put the legs in this way and the wings in that way. And I mean, it was artistry. It definitely was. All right, let's see. Victor says he's leaving the connection. Leaving the live. His connection is terrible. Sorry, Victor. But
sorry, Victor.
better luck next time. He even changed his name back to something different. George says I cooked and carved my sister's turkey for the past 3 years. Oh, okay. Plus the rest is only so much. Is it's so much less to deal with. I mean, yeah. Do you ever set up another cooker as a food warmer during your big cooks? Yes, I have in the past. Um, one of the last times, or like the last year, that I had Bessie or actually I had Bernadette on the back of my house. There was I guess it was Christmas cook that I had it out there, and oof, Bessie, I used Bessie as a warmer to, kind of finish things that came off of Bernadette. Let's see. Y'all, did you guys know Jimmy Quinton is a former police officer, captain for that? New facts to me, mad respect. Oh,
Nice.
yeah, right. Black man, I've done that several times. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Only spatchcock, so I've never cut everything out in the quarters. Doing the wings, doing the legs, and everything else separate. Now, have you? Well, all right. Here's the question: have you spatchcocked and had it for your family, or is it just all for what you were cooking for, like um, a catering?
So all for catering. The Even if I were cooking a turkey for my family, I would leave it whole for that presentation
Okay.
until I'm getting ready to cut into it and serve it. I always leave the turkeys whole. Last year was the first time, like I said, that I had someone reach out and ask for me to cut the turkey for them,
Right.
and that's
Yeah.
what prompted me to um it prompted me to kind of have it like I had it cut up and cut in half already.
Right.
And then when they canceled the date, I was like, all right, you know what? Now I'm gonna cut it into smaller pieces and then put it in a vacuum seal bag and pull it out
For
in a
later.
week.
Yeah. No,
Mm.
I've done a whole turkeys and I've done spatchcock for the family for Thanksgiving or a
Mm-hmm.
holiday.
Hmm.
Um, Turkey is my wife's favorite
Mm.
uh, meat. Doesn't matter if it's beef or whatever. Turkey is her favorite. So when I spatchcocked it, she like, and this is just her her personal
Mm-hmm. Opinion.
flavors, but what she prefers. But she liked it when I was spatchcocked. And I think most reflecting on that, I think it's mostly because you're actually able to get the smoke all the way around the meat
Mm.
for the most
Mm.
part instead of just the standard. But as far as presentation wise, it sucks. I don't like how it looks when it's spatchcocked. But as far as the actual food is the taste of it when it's spatchcocked, it's actually able to get more seasoning into it
Of
and the
course.
smoke. So
So I
yeah,
used to spatchcock chickens, and I wouldn't spatchcock them. I actually would cut them in half.
yeah.
Um, and I would cut them in half because I could fit them onto my drum easier. Like I could arrange them on the drum easier versus the spatchcock is going to take up this much room, right? Versus a half a
Mhm.
chicken takes up this much room, and I can orient the chickens however way I want to. Um, Turkey roll up? What the hell? Turkey roll up and freeze them. Turkey and cream cheese mixture wrapped
Mm,
in a croissant dough.
that actually
Roll in
sounds pretty
breadcrumbs.
good.
I was on board until I
That
heard the.
sounds like a delicious turkey and cream cheese crescent roll variation. To make the rolls, you would 1. Mix the turkey and cream cheese. 2. Spread slap.
I don't know how or why. Thank you, Lola, for
Right?
random. um, let's see. Zach said I have a Blackstone pellet smoker with a griddle. I use the pellet smoker a lot, keep things warm while
Yeah.
making hibachi. So I won't say a lot of times, but more often than not, when if I'm cooking or I have a big event, I end up doing my warming in the thing that did the cooking, if that makes sense. So the big smoker, I'm like, okay, I'll get things ready and I'll have the pans and everything, and then I'll line the shelves with foil, and then put the pans back into the cooker, and use that as my warmer because I don't sometimes most of the time I don't have anything big enough to keep everything warm. Um, Scrog said freeze them and eat them whenever prepare and serve with turkey gravy. Yeah. Making smoked turkey broth tomorrow. Listen, I made my turkey soup today.
That sounds really good.
It was fantastic. I was like, all right, it's time for the turkey soup.
We did that turkey casserole.
This is the
Mhm.
first year in about 10 years that I have not made turkey for Thanksgiving.
Looks good.
So I
Maybe
did
that's
kale, carrots, onion, celery. I'm trying to think what else I put in there. Oh, I did a can of white beans.
You didn't video that, did you?
No.
Well, you should have.
Why?
You should have. Man,
I should have, but I was being lazy.
you should be videotaping everything you do.
Okay.
No, I won't say that, but
Yeah.
You
I
never
know.
know when everything
You-
turns out just
you doing-
right, quote unquote.
yeah, but you're
And you
doing
got
6
all the video
videos a day in December. He ain't nope. Nope.
Say it again.
No, not in December. He won't. He
I've
won't.
I've decided that it's just not. I'm gonna say it's not worth it, but there's no need for me to. I've done videos in the past of me making soup, and they don't do anything. It doesn't hit the intended audience, right?
Yeah.
The folks who are doing barbecue are not going to be like, how do I make a soup? It's going to be, I'm going to find some homesteader that wants to, do like rooter to the tutor type cooking,
Yep.
and they want to learn how to make soup. It's like, how do you make soup? Put your bones in the water, let them sit for 2 or 3 hours. Turn off the heat, let the broth cool, or is it broth stock at that point? Let
Yeah.
it cool. Put two gloves on, take all of the bones out of the meat, leave what's left of the meat in there, warm it back up, slice up your vegetables, and then put, your greens, so celery, put your all types, all of those mixings, the carrots, onions, celery, put it in the pot and let it cook. And once all of those things start getting soft, let's skim off a couple quarts or a quart or so of water, or of the broth, the stock. Put it in with your noodles, cook your noodles, and then once you're done, pour what's left back into your soup. Man, that's easy. Easy peasy.
I'll tell you, Jimmy's video on doing the chicken soup was fantastic. I
That,
I
listen,
know I commented and like the video and stuff. That was badass. I'm just saying.
that's a Southern thing, B. We
It was
we cook
it
chicken
was great.
hash and chicken stew are two things that people in this area even do them for like fundraisers and stuff. You see a lot of those.
Okay, but
Mm.
somebody from California,
Yeah, I understand. And listen, I've got 4 of those pots, and we use them. That was
it was
just a
great.
tradition. Those big
I
cast iron
learned a
pots.
lot from that video. I really did.
Good.
And,
Glad you
and it's
enjoyed it.
basic. It really is.
Mm.
And all of those that we do outside and whatnot, you can always cut the recipe down and do them on the stovetop.
hmm
Heat's just heat.
Mm-hmm.
Comes to
Yeah.
that. It doesn't
BTUs or
matter.
BTUs.
Yep.
So Russ says, Dash, have you ever dropped a single pig in a blanket? No, never.
Wait a minute.
Never.
Wait a minute. They're witnesses.
Love to.
they're,
I, you know,
they're witnesses around.
You're right. Roger asked, how's the new kitten doing? She's doing fine. I don't say she avoids me, but she kind of passes through here where I am, and that's pretty much about it. Actually,
she's like, see you, bye.
yep, she definitely.
Sorry, that's the three. The three.
Mm. So Quentin says, if you want a challenge, try deboning a turkey. I'll just say it sucks.
I bet.
So, I mean, I saw my wife sent me an Instagram reel of a guy deboning a turkey. Um, Quentin, one of the things that I'll tell you, um, this guy must have had some super sharp knives because it looked like he took care of that turkey in very little time and wrapped it up and kind of kind of rolled it back on itself, and it looked good. It looked good. He seasoned it, rolled it back on himself.
So I got a question for you now.
Oh, uh-huh.
What's the what's the crappiest cut of meat? Doesn't matter what, beef, pork, whatever. What's the crappiest cut of meat that you want to slice up for family? For family, not for cutting up for a client, but for family.
So I've the worst cut that I've had is
The one that you resent the most. Let's put it that way.
yep. It was standard grade halal brisket, and I cooked
Oh,
that for someone, right? But it's like there's a standard grade, and I'm like, what is that? And it was just like it's standard. You know how they answer a question with the question or answer the statement. That was exactly what it was. I'm like, what is
yeah.
standard grade? And they were like, it's halal, and the halal has like standard. Now I'm sure there's like higher tiers in the or possibly for halal meat. This one didn't have it. And when I say it was for, I had one of my coworkers, she's Muslim, her husband. He's like, "Oh, I won't have time to cook the turkey. Is there any way, or excuse me, cook the brisket? Is there any way where you can, do this brisket for me?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Sure." He said, "But I need you to get me a halal brisket." And I'm like, "You don't want a halal brisket?" And he said, "Well, I need halal brisket, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Halal brisket is no good, man. Like, it just." He said, I mean, after I tell him the third time, I'm like, "All right, it is what it is." And I didn't like it. Like, it just, I would say it's just weird. But when you see it and you use it and you cook with it and you trim it, you can just tell it's like it's just subpar. It was a little smaller. It was way less fat. There was it was a lot going on and nothing at the same exact time. So even though that's not something I've cooked for my family, that is the one cut that I will try to avoid like the plague. Halal
I
brisket.
avoid Wagyu with the plague when it comes to briskets because there's so much fat in that brisket that you have to cook it completely different.
Mm.
And for me personally, I don't know what this is just it's me personally, but um, I don't have enough experience with Wagyu at that point because once the collagen starts to kind of melt down, it cools off. There's so much fat in that.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
cools off the whole meat. And
Hmm.
I mean, you're dropping 20, 25 degrees on the internal because it's Wagyu and
Mm.
it's just rendering all that fat. And I don't know. I'm just not used to it.
So,
We just pull Southern boys. We can't afford that kind of stuff.
man, listen. So, Grog said, I like smoking spatchcock turkey. I think it looks pretty good. It depends on, I won't say over time or over a while. I like to definitely put the skin side down, which is one of the, I've had people ask me recently, how do I get the skin crispy? I'm like, you got to put that skin up against that grate
Do you
and,
do
hope
you
for the
use
best.
oil?
No,
No? Okay.
I will, brush on some
Butter.
butter on my turkeys. That's about it.
No, I'm
More butter,
cheating.
Um,
baby.
I'm putting spray cooking oil on it.
mm.
I'm cheating. And then season
Yeah.
it, and
So
all of them were pretty.
if I
It's
didn't have, if I had more of the spray, like I can't believe it's not butter spray. I've done that. Um,
yeah.
where I've kind of killed two birds with one stone because I'm like, all right, I can get in there and put this anywhere I need to, and I'm not, I won't say spooning, but I'm not uh brushing butter on. Let's see.
You're not basting.
No,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah.
I'm spritzing, similar to a spatchcock, but kind of opposite. Yeah, kind of. Quentin watched Such Barbecue do that recently. Don't recall what it was, or excuse me, what it was that he was doing. Maybe a turducken.
Yeah, You
Yeah,
you, you talked me into that, by the way.
a turducken.
No, all the work on Thanksgiving.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I'm just a little innocent guy, just
Where's the
smuggling
video?
along every once in a while, selling one. And Dash started talking about, oh man, sell, go on and start selling turkeys. You go,
That's
you like, yeah,
one of
you're
the things that's
you're
on my bucket list that I haven't done yet.
A turkey.
A turducken.
Oh, look. I one of these videos I talk about it. I'm like, why do y'all like making barbecue so elegant? It's like it's barbecue. It's supposed to be simple. Why are you taking
and it's
away from that simplicity,
and it's a lot of work.
It
It's
is.
man?
simple and just a lot of work. You're gonna be worn out and greasy when you get through.
Sure enough, and it's like,
It's just what it is. I mean,
and then you'll have
Well,
grease fire. Ask me how I know.
yeah. If you hadn't cooked long enough yet.
right? Oh my
Man,
god. Dude, there is no way you would have not had a grease fire. No way. Would
so that's being you asked about pros and cons and in the
yes.
video. That's one of the things I said that I would have preferred if there was a provision for a water pan. There's not. And I believe catching a lot of that grease, especially over the fire pot, would be beneficial to the whole
Now,
preventing a grease fire.
do you leave? All right, and Scrog could probably attest to this, but or relate to this, I would say. But do you leave the grease trap open, or do you leave it
Yes.
closed?
So I don't have a like my grease trap. It wasn't a ball valve. Was it a ball? It might have been a ball valve. I leave it open all the time,
Okay,
100%.
I do
all
too.
right. I leave it closed the whole time, and whenever I clean my smoker, that's when I take out all that fat and
Uh
put
huh.
it into the where the ash is.
Okay.
And if people in this live stream, you probably won't understand unless you have a LSD pellet smoker. But I actually bring all the greases and stuff out of that little area and bringing it anyway.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I I try to leave all the smoke inside the chamber as much as possible. That's me.
Yeah. Agreed. definitely. Hmm. So, Jimmy, you'll appreciate this. B, you might appreciate this too. So, my wife got Taste Tester number three an advent calendar last year, and it was she's into rubber ducks, so she got a rubber ducky advent calendar. So this year she got her another advent calendar, and it's all rubber duckies. So I took it upon myself to say, okay, well, my wife did a advent calendar for the boys last year and for Taste Tester number three, and she did it again this year. And I said, well, let me try to find an advent calendar for my wife, right? So I was trying to find a wine advent calendar, but like she really only likes sweet wines, and they're all like white and red. There's no in between. So this is white and red. So I'm like,
Yep.
that's out. So I found a few. Like one was a brain teaser, and the other one had some seeds, like plantings, planting seeds. And I was like, okay, maybe that'll help get her garden, jump started in the spring if she has some seeds pretty much ready to go. And then uh, hold on, I hear somebody coming. And then she surprised me, and she made me a boozy advent
Ooh,
calendar.
woo.
Yeah, so I've
Nice.
been I've been I won't say sipping on, but this is this is Longhand Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey.
Yeah.
Have you had it
Nice.
before?
No.
Oh, Jimmy, have you had this before?
No, but I've heard of it. I've
Yeah.
heard
It
of it.
it's pretty good, and it's different. But I saved it for her because I want her to try some of these too. And she's like, "Well, what is a sour mash?" And I was like, "Well, that's when you take some of the mash from the previous
Yeah.
run and you put it into your new
Yep.
grain bill or whatever." And I said it kind of sours everything. And she's like, "Well, what does it do?" And I'm like, "It kind of just gives it a not even a sour
Just
taste, but it
flavor.
helps it to."
A
I said it
flavor.
tastes different. Yeah, it gives it a
Yeah.
flavor, and that's exactly it. And I said to her, I said, I can tell that there's something done to this, even if I don't 100% know what it is. It's different, and I was like, it's definitely not the same as like so. Day one, I had Willet
Yep.
and peanut butter whiskey.
Mm.
Yesterday, I had Gentleman Jack and a Old Smoky banana pudding cream liquor.
Ooh.
It was good.
Nice.
That was really good. But
That sounds really.
the problem was the Gentleman Jack. I try it neat, and I also try it with some ice. The Gentleman Jack sucked. It was like it was like it had like a wet cardboard like end of the run, bottom of the barrel. This is what they gave me. Um, and whew, it was not good, not good at all.
You know,
Um,
I don't know. When it comes to alcohol, I mean, you have certain brands that works really good for you,
oh
and
yeah,
it's all personal perspective. It really
yeah.
is. So, you
It's like
know,
cilantro. Like cilantro.
right? It's either soap or nothing,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Soap or flavor. It's one or the other. There's no in between.
Mm.
And then you got Dash kind of yawning, but hey, it's all good.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up soon because I am dying
Yep.
here.
All right.
Uh, Zach,
11.
oh yeah. So Zach says, I get using the cooker to keep it warm, but the griddle part is only 20 inches. There isn't room. Plus, the smoker is on the same grill, so I guess it's still using the same cooker. Yes, but technically, I guess you can change the configuration. You got a brand new cooker with that new configuration. Um,
Mm,
your mileage may vary, man.
yeah.
Your situation is not going to be Jimmy's situation, which is not going to be Brian's situation, and it's not going to be my situation. So it's kind of
Every
just,
smoker is going to be unique.
oh yeah,
Everyone.
yeah. Even the two that came off the assembly line right next, back to back, or they're going to be different.
Yeah.
Even on a Friday.
Oh man, yes.
Or
Let's
Saturday.
see. Peaches says Scruggs Chugs gotta love Austin.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. That's Chud's barbecue reference. Did we lose? Did we lose him?
No, I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
I'm reading. Zach says I need to get a set of Wusthof knives. I wish. Um, I've seen those knives in person at some SCA events and other competitions and things like that. Those knives are fantastic, but I would much rather do something with that
Oh,
money
Bronx
than
or whatever.
get the knives. Yeah, coming up on 2 hours, indeed. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and have to catch up on the comments later. I'm going to sleep. Thank you guys for hanging out, Jimmy. Oh, let me get you guys the video for tomorrow. That's what I always try to, I'll
Thank
say,
you, Dad.
stress.
Appreciate it. Totally appreciate you and everything you do, for sure.
Oh man, thank you, man. Definitely appreciate you guys too.
I
All
just
right.
show up on camera. That's all. That's all I do.
So tomorrow's video is me driving around, talking about it, what I did wrong.
I
So
so gotta watch that.
thanks, B. All
And
right.
I don't know. I've been on. I've really been wanting to watch that. Really do.
All right. I mean, it's just story time, basically. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. You guys, thank you again. Thank you, everyone who is here on the live stream. I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with us. But
I've
I'm
almost
going to
gone
go to
through a
bed
whole
so I can
bottle.
get up in the morning. What was that, B?
I've almost gone through a whole bottle.
Oof. I would be no more good in the morning. None.
Feels good. That's all I'm saying.
Damn. I'm just
Appreciate
blown
everybody
away.
that's been here for sure.
Yep.
Brian,
All
you
right.
take
So look, I'm like Scrog said. I have a big silver bucket to catch the grease. I occasionally gets cleaned by a local opossum before I empty it. So I have a half catering pan that I sit on the grate, that shelf that's on the bottom, and I just let everything drip into that, and I put some I don't say remnants, but I put some charcoal ash in that pan, and then kind of cover it up every now and again until the pan is full, and then I just chuck the whole pan and start over. Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of comments that I didn't get to.
Love to see a video of how you clean your LSG.
I have one.
Huh?
I have one. There's videos of me cleaning the LSG.
Okay.
Man.
I'll have to look
All
back.
right.
That's
All
my
right.
bad.
I will text you the
No,
video.
it's all right. I'll look back on your channel. It's all good.
And then just comment. Found it. Huh.
Hey,
All
Brian,
right, guys.
while you're looking, go back at the animation he did. See how far back you'll have to go for that.
Right? No, it's all good.
How long has that been, Dash?
Since I used to do animations,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. Oh
Probably
wow.
13 years. 13,
Yeah.
The
maybe
more
14 years.
real you guys are in your videos, the more relevant it's going to be.
Oh yeah. I agree. Listen, all right. I'm gonna stop talking because I'm
Sorry.
going to bed.
Go to bed,
Good
Dak.
night, guys.
You-
Thank you.
Both you
Good night.
guys, let's see, right there and right there. And anybody else that's starting up. You
Mm.
know,